Yeah. Time it is, nigga. Better watch how you step in. Yeah. But that was my niggas. Yeah. A minute, yo. Got my nigga Ramon with me. But that was my niggas. It'll be an honor. You know what I'm saying? Under commanding general, your honor. That for my niggas. It'll be an honor and a blessing. Look. Hey, straight off the top, I love all of my niggas. That shit ain't gon' stop till we on top and we ballin' my nigga. We be fly as fuck, you know them bitches be stalking my niggas. That shit'll never change and it's the same with all my niggas. City to city, I should be at home. That's what my ribs say. But bitch, I'm grown. I'm in these streets and closed caption. Niggas know we bout that action. If a nigga play with me, then my hockey gon' let him have it. Hey, think you the shit, this truth the shit. Nigga play, I let that Ruger hit. Get on them tracks, they be like, who is this? I'm rude with it. Ain't got no manners. All them pussy niggas talking shit. Yeah, I know they can't stand us, but we UPK Louisiana, bitch, that's what I'm ripping. And my niggas solid number, real ones in my section. If you wanna get down, get down. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood. I lay my life down right now for all my sisters and brothers because I love them. I see them dapping and hug them. It's amazing to see how well we adapt from the struggle. Born again from a life of sin, trapping together. My mind frame was to kill my own kind. Feeling inferior, waking up ready to die. Run with them killers, so it's just a matter of time. For I take your life or let you take mine. That's when I realized the slaves killing slaves while the white man live to get old. We in them graves, shit got me feeling plain. I opened the Bible, went through them records, found out we was royalty, a nation to be respected. But in this world we rejected, we hated for our complex. Still fighting to get accepted. We hear the truth and reject it, but love is getting corrected. And all my niggas correct me. The commandments, the foundation we erected. Brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. Hey, hey. Hey, hey.
They did the same thing to my people. So you said that they put millions of my actions. Should a murderer go to jail for murdering? Absolutely. Should a thief go to jail when he steals? Absolutely. Should a robber pay back the money he robbed? Absolutely. So why shouldn't the white man pay for what he did? That's right. That's right.
You see just how it feels. Payback is a I'm in a hell of a hole, was never expected to grow. Just obstacles set in the road, that a result of me selling my soul. The story I'm telling is cold, but yet it's what everyone knows. The white man's the devil is known. America was never a home. Only a place of captivity, safe facility, hating disfigure me. They claim that I'm lazy, be killing me. Maybe this slavery draining my energy. 400 years and counting. The trail of my tears is countless. Me fact that them years astounding, but I can't wait till this shit is surrounded. Ready to tangle my king in the angel, be ready to rap. Cracking the sky. Nuclear missiles are making it official. I'm capturing every crack and surviving. Put them all in chains where they need to be. Slavery for me. And let the whole world see that with them in the cages, safer in the streets. Put the dog on a leash. Get resolved for the beast. 144, get the ruler show. We get
Mic check.
as soon as the trumpets are sound, your kingdom be busting it down. The only way justice is found. The time for your judgment is now.
Hey, when y'all can share the class, please. Okay.
Look, ain't no remorse in my blood, Slim. It won't be no compromise. Now it's time to feed the worms. Watch his body turn to flies. I clutch iron while you trust the lies. The next Glock I buy gon' be Gen 5. I get it customized. And sending shots off like farewell. Praying payback come back around like a carousel. Still remember your Honda's words ringing in my head like bells. Said you in this body, you fit the Lord, fuck the cartel. Triangle choke, apply pressure to the game like I did Vondale. Payback's a bitch in a dress, she a bombshell. Just is served cold, I just hope they making oxtail. Glock fresh out the box, I swear it got that new car smell. Made myself a target in the world of mad shooters. Devils design fire. Why babies the past through in the damn my king's reign, I be overzealous. They bought my jealous, I bought brand new parabellums.
I seen heaven turn to hell, I gotta stay alive. Lord have mercy on my soul, stand by my side. I killed the old man and I watched him die. Lost a couple niggas, guess he wasn't my round. They play my niggas, lay you down, they all down the ride. Keep my gun in my arm, I gotta stay alive. I gotta stay alive. Keep my gun in my arm, I gotta stay alive. Tell me we don't live in hell. My brother doing 55 in that cell. Nigga claiming he your round here spin shell. Same nigga you put on to hit the standing tail. How the fuck you turn your back on a nigga that love you? Treat your kids like my kids. Treat you like my brothers. I told my dog let's leave the streets to serve the most high. He said fuck that shit. He trying to sell another pot. His daddy killed him, put him in the trunk, set him on fire. His wife was pregnant, he ain't never get to see his child. Had me thinking to myself, what happened if I die? Look my babies in the eyes, I gotta stay alive. I put my ego on the shelf and my pride to the side. I'm with some niggas who gon' step and got God on their side. Got in the Isupk, they keep asking me why. As I do the work of the Lord, I gotta stay alive. Face the east, pray alive. I seen heaven turn to hell, I gotta stay alive. Lord have mercy on my soul, stand by my side. I killed the old man and I watched him die. Lost a couple niggas, guess he wasn't my round. They play my niggas, lay you down, they all down the ride. Keep my gun in my arm, I gotta stay alive. I gotta stay alive. Keep my gun in my arm, I gotta stay alive.
You ever pump a pack with a snake by your side? Yes, I see the man reach out to God before he died. Yes, I did. I know the Lord forgive us for peace is. I'm starting to think the kingdom of heaven is for these kids. I told my daughter, there's one man in your bed, I won't stand for less. For my son, I hit your head on that fragile legs. I lost some niggas to that dope, I lost niggas to the feds. Remember Jono try to stick me for that cheese on that bread, yeah. I was stuck with Lucky, that nigga left me for dead. Do it to the end, cause I listened to what was said. Mother told me she loved me when she was sick up in the bed. I was running them streets, but the truth made me a man. She don't really speak, cause she'll never understand. That's why I ain't even tell her about these voices in my head. I'm still trying to manage my anger like Uncle Craig.
I seen heaven turn to hell, I gotta stay alive. Lord have mercy on my soul, stand by my side. I killed the old man and I watched him die. Lost a couple niggas, guess he wasn't my round. They play my niggas, lay you down, they all down to ride. Keep my gun in my arm, I gotta stay alive. I gotta stay alive. Keep my gun in my arm, I gotta stay alive.
I'm gonna start off with Jeremiah 50 and 4. I'm gonna read an article first.
I ain't at the die to meet the devil. Angels fell and landed in the ghetto. The earth was given to the hands of devils. Then we seen the rise of the devil. We fell for the lies of the devil. When we got high was the devil. I looked into the eyes of the devil. I ain't at the die to meet the devil.
I remember I was only 13 when I met the demon. Gave me a deuce and a bundle of cocaine. Told me to sell to my people, make sure you keep them fiending. If any try to shoot you, make sure that you leave him leaking. He said,
I'ma hold you down when problems pop up.
how you got me moving this dope? Want me in lockup? He said,
Don't you want the Benz vertible with the top cup?
Yeah.
Stop bitching, get in that kitchen, let it rock up. Bitches love the dope boy, especially when it's lock up. I know you know
who
Ron.
the plug from by the block up?
I'll tell you a little secret, make sure that you keep your mouth shut. Ron got a Lexus, crib in Philly and Texas. Trips to the Bahamas, just got a whip for his mama. He fucking up them commas, be honest, he seeing decent though.
I hear you, but I just seen Ron about a week ago. In fact, he ain't looking too good. His knees is kinda slow. I asked him why the struggle. He got stuck up for his bundle, but them 6 hollow tips in his legs what made him crumble.
He got the house and mama is living good.
Said the feds took it all. He right back in the hood. I see you try to play me. You gave us crack in the 80s. Made us abort our babies and making hoes out our ladies. I know you got me gravy, but Satan, you must be crazy. It's gonna take more than them cars when to amaze me. I seen niggas shoot for the stars, but being lazy.
Hey, you call. We're gonna start with the article.
I guarantee that you gon' regret it. Remember I
Yeah.
No, you could dead it.
what you saying? I can't win.
No, never
Yeah,
will.
let's go. Let's get it.
So until we meet again.
I ain't at the die to meet the devil. Angels fell and landed in the ghetto.
Let me know when I'm good. You good? All right. All right, y'all clap it up. All right. Shalom, Israel. We are the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge. We started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yohana. We are here to teach Hispanics, Blacks, and Native Americans who they are according to the scriptures, according to the Bible. We are not affiliated with any other Israelite group. If you're not of the Isupk under Commander General Yohana, you're not in the truth. With that, first of all, Shalom Yahaba Hashem Yahushua Barakatam to all the brothers. Shalom Shema Ataba Hashem Yahushua to all the sisters. Today we're going to, there's something brewing in this melting pot, and it affects all those people that are in, all the people that are God's chosen people in the Bible. What is brewing right now is ICE raids, and don't think it's just because it's ICE raids that is exclusively to Mexicans or Hispanics. That affects Native Americans. That affects Blacks as well. You know what I mean? Because they in the same fight. You know who it doesn't affect? South Africans, they're not affected by this. It doesn't affect the Chinese. It don't affect the Arabs. It don't affect Africans. It don't affect Europeans. It don't affect people from India, Pakistan, the Middle East. But this kind of this kind of these raids are a kind of let's say it's a declaration of war because that's what they're doing. Ultimately, they're kidnapping people. That's what the American government is doing. They're going into people's houses, people's residence, people's jobs, people's community, and they're taking it by force. No legal process, right? No legal process at all. So I asked myself, where was the legal process for those South Africans? I'm going to use the current example. They had a legal process to get them here, to expedite them out of their country. They were seeking asylum, right? When we seek asylum, we have to go through harsh conditions and going through from our lands to here. We have to go through different oceans, different seas, different deserts, different countries, hundred thousands in miles to get here to risk and gamble crossing the border. That is a gamble. If you talk to anybody that has ever been through that, they have hundreds of stories about the thousands of people that they've seen lose their life in that attempt to supposedly come here to find a better life, an American dream, a white picket fence, nice green lawn, nice cars, big house. But that is not the case. When we come here, we are escaping one plantation and running to another, thinking that the master here is different than our master. The masters over there, even though they are people, their master is the so-called the Edomite, Esau, and we've come to we study, and we study history, we study the textbooks, and we study the Bible, and and everything we say we prove. We don't just talk us out of our neck, but we know for a fact that those so-called Esau, those so-called children of or those Edomites is the white man, and they are the ones that run this place. Ultimately, generally, they are the ones that run this world, and those same people that that are masters over in our countries, those Maduros and Hugo Chavez's and Claudia and Nayib Bukele and the president of Guatemala and Peru and Colombia, which he just got, they tried to unalive him. Like those people, they're not doing their campaigns and their agendas on their own accord. They follow the agendas that are given to them by the oppressors. A great example that I can give you would be when like the Cuban Missile Crisis. That's an excellent example because the parties that were funding them and causing them to be in the condition that they are now in, which is one of the poorest countries in Latin America, they got there by listening to this oppressor because this oppressor was telling them what to do. They were running their politics, et cetera, et cetera. And that is what's happening here within our lands now. Everybody is following what the oppressor tells them to do. They follow orders. So that brings me to this, to our topic. So we are the lost sheep of the house of Israel, Hispanics, Blacks, Native Americans. This whole Bible is written to those children, to the children of God. Everything in there that is prophesied, that is good and bad, everything in there is for us and was meant for us. And only here in this school you can find that particular knowledge. Anywhere else, you'll get what people perceive, or I know y'all heard this before, like what is your perception? It's up to your perception. It's up to what you believe. It's how you feel. It's what is in your heart. when people say that it's in your heart, they're just saying that because if you feel some type of way in your heart, right, and you want to sin, that's in your heart. When you decide not to, that's gonna be, oh, the Lord put it on me. That's not how that works. When you decide not to do sin, it's not because the Lord put it on you. It's because you acknowledge that those things are wicked and sinful. But those things we learn from our oppressors. And right now, in this time, like I said, something is brewing in this melting pot. Something, this is the beginning. This is the light stage. And we've been at the beginning for a very long time. For over 500 years, we've been at the beginning. Since Columbus set foot here, since George Washington and them set foot on the East Coast, the Pilgrims and them, that's been the beginning. So we've been at the beginning for a while, but things are brewing out to the point again, because history repeats itself. It's getting to that point again where Hispanics, Blacks, Native Americans have to unite again. And we do this constantly. This is like every 20, 30, 40 years, we're constantly struggling. We're constantly fighting the same enemy together and receiving the same results. Nothing gets changed. Rioting is not going to change anything. You're still going to get hunted. You're going to get hunted worst for rioting. That is an excellent. If you're out there vandalizing, if you're out there committing crimes, if you're out there clapping at the police, if you're out there rioting, like that's going to be a reason for them to come down harder on you. But I understand the anger of our people, and I understand why like we have to go through those measures now, because marching does not work. It has never worked. Anybody that's ever marched has been shut down, and so has anybody that has ever carried arms. As far as our people are concerned, like the Black Panthers, they got shut down. They got dismantled. Malcolm X and them, they got dismantled. They were too militant. Cesar Chavez, he got dismantled. He got bought out. There's so many examples. So like that stuff doesn't work. And this is an outlash. This is like how we feel and that we are fed up. And fortunately, it's not just Hispanics. Fortunately, we have our brothers with us. We have the so-called Blacks and the so-called Native Americans that are standing with us in this solidarity. Go ahead and get that article you call. I put it up there on the. So fortunately, we have that. We have people that stand with us, and like I said, it's not just a Hispanic thing. You know what I mean? We can trace this back to the civil rights movement, even before then. A quick history about the civil rights movement, right? Before the civil rights movement, like Hispanics, Blacks, Native Americans, we thrived together. We worked together. We had our own communities. We had our own neighborhoods, our own hospitals, the schools, what's it called? Law enforcement, lawyers. I believe I said doctors, teachers, professors. We had all that, and then it occurred to some of our brothers it would be better to join with these people than to keep separate under some Christian pretext, which was very selfish because it wasn't about uniting us. It was about their lust. It was about their selfishness. No, it's the reason why you can go to a Christian church and you see or a Catholic church or any religious entity. You can go there and you can see like clearly their wealths and their riches and their spoils. You can see it in their suits, their shoes, their cars. You know, and one thing about religion is nonprofit, so they don't pay nothing. They don't have to pay anything. You know, they don't even follow the commandments. The only commandment they follow is to pay your tithes. As long as you do that, that pastor, that bishop, that priest, that father, they'll be all right. But you won't. You won't be all right. Anyways, we're gonna go to this article on Black and Brown unity before we get into the scriptures because it's important. Like I'm not that old, hopefully, but not that young. But recently, like I've been seeing that unity live, you know, as opposed to like 15, 20 years ago, I had no idea that this was the thing, but it is. And it's been shown all over the news, all over social media. I can't get enough videos on TikTok, Facebook, YouTube on how Hispanics, Blacks, and Natives are working together through these ICE raids. How we're uniting, and I love it. It's beautiful. Go ahead with that article.
This is an article in Wikipedia titled Black and Brown Unity. Black Brown Unity. Variations include Black Brown Unity and Black Brown Red Unity. Is a racial political ideology which initially developed among Black scholars.
Stop. Black Brown Unity, and Black Brown Red Unity. There's no Black Brown African Unity, Black Brown Red and Arab Unity, Black Brown Red and who else? Who am I missing? I'm missing a lot of people. White Unity, Asian Unity is Black Brown Red Unity. I mean, if y'all don't know, real quick, you know who the blacks are, you know who the browns are, you know who the red are. That's Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Don't think because you see red is the so-called white man, because he's not. He's red in the scriptures, but he's not red. He's all different colors. He can be red, he can be pale, he can be blue, he can be yellow. He's all different colors depending on the season and how hard you beat him up. So go ahead.
Which initially developed among Black scholars, writers, and activists who pushed for global activist associations between Black people and brown people.
Right. Go ahead.
Including Chicanos and Latinos.
So this was started by Black brothers and sisters. They started that here in this land that we live in now. They started that not as a thing about it wasn't initiated to fight off oppression. It was to bring them together, to bring those that oppress together. That's how this started. All right, including Chicanos and Latinos and go ahead.
And indigenous peoples of the Americas.
Indigenous peoples of the Americans, Native Americans. Okay, Chicano, Latinos, Native Americans, indigenous. Blacks are indigenous as well. Don't let this people that won the war and rewrote the books confuse you and lie to you about where Black comes from. Black does not come from Africa. Black comes from Jerusalem. Black was already here in America. So was brown. So was red. Don't let them fool you, because that is a great tactic. That is a great tactic to separate people, to separate families, to destroy them. That's exactly what they're doing at the borders. When you get caught up at the border, they take the mother and father and separate them from the children. The mother and father, they get deported. You know what I don't hear enough about? Where do the children go? If y'all know any history, when the pilgrims settled here and then they said they got aid from Europe, and Europe started sending their military over here and their soldiers and their priests and their Catholics and their Christians. The first thing they did was they did not kill the man, they killed the Indian. I'm saying they started cutting your hair. They started telling you you cannot speak your language. You got to speak English. Putting children in boarding schools. That is a great tactic to separate people, to destroy people. Go ahead.
Historically referred to as red,
Right.
to unify against white supremacy, colonialism,
Mm-hmm.
capitalism,
Mm-hmm.
and in some cases, European conceptualizations of
Mhm.
masculinity.
To combat, we get the first part, white supremacy. White, you know what that is. You know that means they think they think they're inferior, and that's what causes them to conduct themselves the way they do against us. Because we always have to be below them. If you're at your job and this plantation owner sees you smiling and laughing and just chopping it up with your brothers and sisters, that makes him upset to the point where they're sending you home. You don't get paid the rest of the day. All right. White supremacy, colonialism, capitalism, colonialism being them and taking over our lands. Capitalism is monetizing of us. And in some cases, European conceptualizations of masculinity. Is Hispanics, blacks, Native Americans, we know how to be masculine. Those other people, they don't. Those other people think it's okay for a man to lay with a man. Those other people, especially the ones in charge, they pass laws on saying it's okay for a woman to lay with a woman. It's okay for a man to lay with a child, a woman to lay with a dog. You know, like they don't know, like they are evil in all their agenda and everything they do. Go ahead.
Which were recognized
Mm-hmm.
as interrelated
Mm-hmm.
in maintaining white racial privilege
Mm-hmm.
and power over people of color globally.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
The formation of unity struggles among people of color
Mm-hmm.
widely emerged in the 20th century and have been identified as an attempt to forge a united struggle.
Right.
By emphasizing the similar forms of oppression black and brown people confront under white supremacy.
Nah, that's enough on that. So the whole reason for this black and brown unity thing was for that reason right there, too, because we've recognized the oppression, even though, and I might be going on a limb here, but most likely so-called African Americans or blacks, most likely they're not getting deported like Hispanics are, or like Reds, or like Native Americans are, right? But they understand the oppression so much that they join the battle. You know, I know y'all see them on social media. They out there. I don't want to promote it, but they're out there with us in the streets, going against these people, demonstrating, protesting against these people, which brings me to this next point. When we do things like that, it's an act of it's criminal behavior. When Trump and his goons, when they started rioting and protesting, that was an act of practicing your rights. They were applauded for that. They got jobs for it. They got jobs at ICE. They got jobs as police officers and sheriffs. That was their reward. Our reward is a jail cell. Our reward is, how ridiculous is this, Sawadia? You catch a man from Mexico, right, that doesn't have proper documentation. There's no trial, nothing. You just scoop his ass up from wherever he's at, and then you don't send him back to Mexico. You send him to a different country. You know what I mean? That's called kidnapping, bro. Like when it comes to us, the legal system is not for us. There's only one constitution that Hispanics, blacks, and Native Americans should follow, and that is the law, statutes, and commandments, which is in the Holy Bible. That is our only constitution. Now, I'm not saying go against anything that's written in the American laws, because the scriptures does say that you should help me out here, follow the law of the land, right? So don't go out, don't commit crimes, don't do anything stupid. I'm just saying, like what you should really adhere to and follow is already written for you. Every other nation does not do it, including us. But if you learn it and you apply it, most likely you won't get caught up in the crossfires. You won't be in the crosshairs. You know what I mean? Because who can go against the Most High? Who can go against God? We're going to drop that article. Hold on. Yeah, that was enough. So the point was to show that Hispanics, Black, Native Americans, we've been under the same oppression for a very, very long time. And this, we can extend this beyond, way before being colonized. We can go back to Jerusalem. We can go back to Babylon. We can go back to Assyria. We can go back to the Ottoman Empire. We can go so further back. We can go 2,025 years ago. You know? Give me Jeremiah 50:4. There's the scriptures, everything in the scripture that is written is also like, it's not just like a record. It's also prophecies. It's also things that are to come. It's also of what's going to occur, but definitely like in the spirit. Everything that we do is in the spirit. Our war is in the spirit. Right now, our war is not physical. Right now, we don't have nobody. Christ hasn't given the order for us to pick up arms and go and wail out, guns blazing. Right now, our order is to fight spiritually. So everything in the scriptures is spiritual. And that's why we go into this particular chapter in Jeremiah 50:4. Go ahead.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 50, verse 4. In those days and in that time, said the Lord,
Right.
the children of Israel shall come,
Uh-huh.
and the children of Judah together.
All right. So the children of Israel, the children of Judah, same people, just different tribes, two kingdoms. Hispanics, Black, Native Americans in Israel, Jamaicans, Haitians, and Black being one kingdom. Nonetheless, we are the same people. We're all those particular people that I just mentioned are children of God. And it says what? Started from the beginning?
In those days
In those days that are to come. Go ahead.
and in that time, said the Lord, the children of Israel shall come.
Yeah.
They and the children of Judah together.
Together. Again, together. Go ahead.
Going and weeping.
Going and weeping. Weeping. You know what I mean? Long suffrage, struggles, slavery, oppression, prisons, poverty, ghettos, barrios, reservations, inquisitions, unalivings, lynchings, violations, robberies. Like there's so many crimes that I can go through that these oppressors have committed against us, the children of Israel and the children of Judah. And that's what this Christian is talking about it. But he's talking about there's going to come that day when the children of Israel shall come, right? And the children of Judah together and weeping. That's going to be the reason of our union, is that weeping. It ain't going to be because we had a cookout or a party. I mean, that's great and all, right? But we're going to come together strong because we understand our plights. Like we understand our struggle. That's what's gonna bring us together. That's why myself and Sawadia, we can relate. You know what I mean? Even though we're different tribes, we've been through the same shit. I mean, the same stuff. It just happened to him in English. It happened to me in Spanish. It happened to him by the European. It happened to me by the Spanish. You know, our tribes can relate. Go ahead and go to 6.
Verse 6.
Mm-hmm.
My people have been lost sheep.
Mm-hmm.
Their shepherds have caused them to go astray.
That first point, my people have been lost sheep. Lost sheep. We are, name a place on this earth we're there. Maybe it could be like 20 in Africa, but we're there. Anywhere, we're scattered. We're lost sheep. Also, that means like we're not following, we're not in tune with our master, with our shepherd. You know what I mean? That means we're not following the law, statutes, and commandments, but we're not following our shepherd. We're not under their care, right? Because why? Go ahead. They're shepherds.
Good. Their shepherds have caused them to go astray.
Our leaders, our shepherds, those that are supposed to be vigilant of us, those that are supposed to be our judges, our leaders, our law enforcement, they have caused us to go astray. We can't trust our people in power. You know what I mean? Can you trust Mark Rubio? You can't trust that you can't trust him. You know what I'm saying, can you trust Nayib Bukele? You can't trust him. You know what I mean? Can you trust Candace Owens? She's a great public speaker. You can't trust him. They just say good words. You know. If let's say well, Trump in so many cases is the shepherd here. He is the king here. We can't trust him. We did. We trusted him by electing him. And now look at our condition. Our shepherds have caused, they're the reason why we have gone astray. Especially our religious leaders. Those Pharisees, especially them. They are the reason, one of the reasons that we're in the condition that we're in. There's no other place to it's important to step away from them. Like, leave that alone. Leave that Christianity alone. Leave that Muslim alone. Leave that Islam alone, Buddhism alone. What are them African things called? Egyptology alone. Like, leave all that stuff alone. There's a book that has withstood the test of time, and that is the Holy Bible. You can't manipulate it. Because when you do, you get a crackhead and a whoremonger as your leader in the Christian church, your so-called pastor. You know what I mean? Go ahead.
They have turned them away on the mountains.
Mm-hmm.
They have gone from mountain to hill.
Yeah, our leaders, even in our own lands, those mountains, those leaders, those presidents, those dictators, those whatever emperor, whatever, they have turned us away from our places to go into a hill, to go into another one. Like I said, from plantation to plantation. Go ahead.
They have gone from mountain to hill.
Mm-hmm.
They have forgotten their resting place.
They've forgotten their resting place. This is not like your call was bringing out the other day. It's not our resting place, and it's never going to be our resting place. Our resting place is back home. Back home is not Honduras, Cuba, Colombia, Africa. Back home is Jerusalem. Back home is that area surrounding Jerusalem. That's back home. That's our resting place. So don't think because you're coming from a different country here that this is your resting place. Don't think because you're gonna go from here somewhere else that is far more beautiful. It's not. It's not. Marcus Garvey had a whole fleet ready to take blacks to Africa. And when the white man saw that, he shut that down real quick. He shut that down because you're needed here. You're not supposed to go rest. This is not your resting place. Yeah, you good? Now go ahead.
Verse 7. All that found them have devoured them.
Yeah, everybody, even our own people that have found us, the oppressors, our own people, our own brothers and sisters that have found us, they devour us. The oppressors, our leaders, they take advantage of us. Especially our leaders, because they do what the oppressor says, and they get a cut of it. They get a nice house, nice mansion, nice cars, a little grim bill called dollars. They get that. Go ahead.
And their adversary said, we offend not,
right?
Because they have sinned against the Lord.
So they put drugs in our communities, right? Those same oppressors, they taught us how to rob, steal, and murder to get a gain, to get some game, right? They taught us how to be sexual deviants because they came here, especially the Spanish, they were infamous for violating women, men, and children. They were infamous for that. They were known for that across the planet, right? They taught us those things. We learned those things from them, right? They taught us all kinds of iniquity, right? And when we commit it, they punish us for it after they taught us. I mean, the hypocrisy of these people, man. The hypocrisy. They're a bunch of hypocrites. That's what they are. They taught us how to sin and then punish us for everything we do. I mean, they haven't taught us anything good. I know that much. They don't teach us how to do our taxes. They don't teach us how to, how to own real estate. They don't teach us those things. But we get punished for it because they're a bunch of hypocrites. And that's their job. The job is to destroy us. Well, we can avoid that by returning to this book of records that I'm talking about, that is the Holy Bible, that is meant for Hispanics, Blacks, and Native Americans. We can avoid it. Go ahead and drop to, what was that, 7, right? Go to 17.
Verse 17. Israel is a scattered sheep. The lions have driven him away.
Those lions, those oppressors. Go ahead.
First, the king of Assyria hath devoured him.
And the king of Assyria. At that time, we were under oppressed, not oppressed. We were under the rulership of Assyrians, the northern kingdom, the Israelites. We were under their rule, and they had devoured us. To the point where we built boats and we crossed the whole ocean, the Atlantic. We crossed the Atlantic, and that's how we got here. That's how we got here, Hispanics, Blacks, and Native Americans, and some of Judah. Some of Southern Kingdom. They were priests at the time, and they had to come with us, half of their tribe. Go ahead.
And last, this Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, hath broken his bones.
Right. And then Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon. They broke the southern kingdom. The tribe of Judah. The tribe of that's it, right? The tribe of Judah. The so-called Jews. the blacks, the Jamaicans, the Asians, they broke them. All right. I'll go ahead and go to 18.
Verse 18.
Mhm.
Therefore, thus saith the Lord of hosts.
The Lord of hosts, the Lord of war, the Lord of armies. Start that again.
Therefore, thus saith the Lord of hosts.
Remember at the beginning, I said nothing here is my words. Nothing here say is what we say. It's what's written in the Bible. Therefore, thus saith the Lord of hosts. What do you say? Oh, go ahead.
The God of Israel.
The God of Africa.
The God of Israel.
The Chinese.
The God of Israel.
The Arabs.
The God of Israel.
The God of who?
Israel.
Hispanics.
Israel.
Blacks.
The God of Israel.
Native Americans. That's who Israel is. Blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans. That is your God. Them other people that I mentioned, they have gods too. They got Allah and Buddha and the dragon and the I don't know. I don't keep up with them because they're not real. They're not for me. They're for them. They got the little, that's their thing. It's not mine. My God is a living God. Go ahead.
Behold, I will punish the king of Babylon and his land, as I have punished the king of Assyria.
Right. It's coming. This is what's brewing. You know what I mean? Like what's brewing right now, it's affecting us right now. But in the shortly here, it's going to affect those kings. Those kings of the Israelites, those kings of the Jews. It's going to affect them. It's going to affect them because they're not going to meet Russia and China and Africa or BRICS. You know what I mean? They're going to meet they're going to meet Christ and the angels. That's going to be their punishment. And it goes on and on, but the topic is brotherhood. So let's go to Luke 16 and 13. This particular parable pertains to all of us, Hispanics, Blacks, and Native Americans, because it's a parable about our condition. It's a story about how, like, what is happening, what it is, and what's gonna happen. So what I say?
Luke 16,
13. Yeah. Go ahead.
This is the book of Luke, chapter 16, verse 13. No servant can serve two masters.
All right. No servant can serve two masters. If you're a servant, right? Here we are servants. We are servants because we are slaves. So you're either going to serve, you can't serve two masters. This is not my words. Matter of fact, these are written in red. So Christ said these things. Who's going to go against Christ? Many tried to argue with him. Many tried to go against him, but they all got shut down. They all got cut. Start that again.
No servant can serve two masters.
Right.
For either he will hate the one and love the other.
That's true. If you serve Babylon, if you serve the king of Babylon, right? Babylon being America. If you do everything for America, you're gonna love America. But you're gonna hate the Most High, our King. You're gonna hate God. Because they are not alike. They have nothing in common. Everything that is against the Most High, the king of Babylon, or this land, Babylonia, possesses it. Everything from the things you eat, from the people that you sleep with, from morality to values, everything that they have and it sounds good is against the Most High, and vice versa. Everything that the Most High has for everything that the Most High has given us is against them. That's why you cannot serve two masters, because you're gonna love one and hate the other. And go ahead.
Love the other.
Love the other. So you wanna like the scriptures don't give a choice for us Hispanics, Blacks, and Native Americans, or for any nation as a matter of fact. You follow the Most High, you follow His law, statutes, and commandments, and you can live, or you can die. Go ahead.
Or else he will hold to the one.
We will hold to the one. So like we'll hold to their feasts, their customs, their culture, right? Either or. We're gonna hold on to Easter or the Passover. You know what I mean? We're gonna hold to eating lamb and beef, or we're gonna hold on to shrimp, crab, and lobster. I mean, we're gonna hold on. Like this is telling you what's like. You cannot serve two masters. Those two masters, they have different presentations, they have different systems, they have different ways of doing things. Even like in restaurants, right? Like they can have the same kind of similar food, but it's not made the same. You know what I'm saying, you can have some what is it, menudo? Like menudo traditionally was made out of pork guts, but there's other restaurants that serve it with beef. So you can. That's the reason why you cannot serve what do you say, two masters, because they do things differently. But there's only a proper way and the right way to do things according to the Most High. Go ahead.
And despise the other.
All right. You're gonna love one, hate the other. You're gonna love the way they do things. If I say that you will be hated for my sake, I mean, we doing everything Christ said, right? And we still get hated because they have a different master. Their master does not allow them to be perfect. Their master tells them there's no such thing as a perfect man. Only one man was perfect. There are various examples throughout the Bible. Real quick, Job, Noah, and Abraham, Noah, and Job, they were perfect. So it's crazy. Like, so they have different kind of ideologies and philosophies. The thing with the Bible, the Holy Bible, is that there's not that ideology, philosophy. No, it's just there are laws, statutes, and commandments. It's things that you do. You know, go ahead.
Ye cannot serve God and mammon.
All right, you can serve God or man and money. You can't serve those. You cannot serve God or man or the other man. You either serve God or the other, but you cannot serve both. That's where that hypocrisy comes in from our Pharisees and our leaders and the people that are in charge of us, the people that are supposedly meant for us. They are not. You cannot serve one or the other. Those ain't my words. This is an account of Luke telling you what Christ said. I mean, so this is an account of what Christ told him, what Christ told the people, what Christ is telling us. That's why it's a book of records. We have that record now, you know. And like I said earlier, it's not up for interpretation. It's not about how you feel. It ain't about none of it. It's what it said. Go ahead.
Verse 14.
Salakia. No, that ain't it. bad. So like, go drop down to 19.
This
Right
is
before you read it. Before you read it. So this brings me back to the unity we have now, and unity is that's what brotherhood is. That's what the UPK we're known for that. You know what I mean? The UPK is nobody on this planet practices brotherhood like we do. Nobody. There is no organization or gang or political party or anything like that that practices and applies everything that Christ taught like we do. It doesn't exist, and it won't. So, being with this riots and whatnot, and Hispanics, blacks, and natives coming together under that that sentiment and that knowledge and that knowing of who the oppressor is, who the enemy is, everything we have in common, like this, like that relates to what this scripture is going to say. I said the scriptures belong to us, and this is again in Christ talking in Luke 16, Luke chapter 16, verse 19. Go ahead, Swati. 19.
there was a certain rich man.
A rich man, like y'all know what rich is. There are rich people amongst us. You know, we got our athletes, we got our politicians, we got our pastors, we got our religious leaders. We got the earth has them people in I forgot what they're called. The sheiks, they're rich. The prince and the princesses of I don't know. I'm just make some African country. They're rich. You know what I mean, Trump is wealthy. He's on a different level. So there was a certain rich man, right? A certain rich man. So why?
There was a certain rich man,
Mm-hmm.
which was clothed in purple and fine linen,
Mm-hmm.
and fared sumptuously every day.
Yeah, he was making bread. He was clothed in purple and fine linen. Purple was used to be a color to represent like high society, very much like you wear a suit and tie, and like well, I'm not gonna say the names, but like very expensive suits that certain individuals make, and if you don't have it, then you're broke. Again, Giorgio Armani, right? If you don't have it, you ain't in nothing. Gucci and Jacobs and Ford, things like that. So there was a certain rich man, right, which was clothed in purple and fine linen, and fared money simultaneously every day. He's making bread all the time, every day, nonstop. Go ahead and go ahead and call off tomorrow. You probably won't be able to pay your phone bill for next month, or your Wi-Fi. All right, go ahead.
Verse 20.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a certain beggar named Lazarus,
A certain beggar, a certain somebody that was struggling, somebody that was begging for something. What is this? Go ahead.
which was laid at his gate,
At his gate, at his border, at his house, at his gate, at his where his kingdom began, where the edges of his kingdom, that gate that keeps things in and out. In his property, there was a certain beggar. He was at his gate. Go ahead.
full of sores,
full of sores, like full of pain, full of sorrows, full of poverty, full of agony, full of stress, anxiety, depression. Like this man was full of sores, things that hurt, things that vex you, things that make you mad. Depression makes a wise man mad. He was full of that. He was in a low condition. And this man, his name is Lazarus. He was at the gate. He was at the door. You know who else is it's like that, Sawadia?
Ooh,
Hispanics, blacks, and Native Americans.
God, I don't come.
We are at the gate in Babylon. In the kingdom of Babylon, of Babylonia, of Babylon, we are at the gate. So we're full of sores, full of poverty. We are at the gate. We are the ones competing against each other for that race. We are the one beefing with each other at work because we want to make more than the next one. But most certainly, we are the ones that are at the gate waiting for the king, for the people in charge to give us some. Well, it's going to explain it here. Go ahead.
Verse 21. And desiring to be fed with the crumbs which fell from the rich man's table.
Now, he's a beggar. He's at the gate, and he has a wish. He has that American dream in his mind. He wants a crumb. He don't even want the whole loaf, nigga. Like he don't want the whole 12 or 14 pieces of slices that you can make out of a loaf. He just want a crumb. He just want how much they get paid? Like I think it's like 120 something a day to go pick a field. I mean, he wants that minimum wage, that 725 to go deal with a customer and with your boss and with your employees, and to wash dishes and to clean floors, to you know what I mean, to do things that most people that are not us won't do. He just wants a crumb, not even the whole slice. Go ahead.
Moreover, the dogs came and licked his sores.
The dogs came. The dogs, these are the other nations. The dogs, these dogs from Babylon. These dogs, they came to lick those sores, to try to heal him. It was like, all right, you want a crumb. All right, bet. Come and do this, and I'll give you a crumb. And a lot of times, bro, that's why Hispanics, blacks, and natives, we are the most that we are. When it comes to election time, we are revered as a great people, as even studious, even like hardworking people, because we are in that. We are. They licked our sores. They like you want to get some of this bread, this crumb. I need you to send somebody to the moon. I need you to create this TV, make it into color. I need somebody to create a sort of communication where you can hold to your ear and you can talk to somebody across an ocean. You know what I mean? So this is what modern slavery is. It's jobs. You know, it don't appear like it, but it's not anymore but horses and buggies, you know what I mean? But it's still the same thing. So they're offering us, they came to lick our sores, right? They came to like heal them, right? Specifically Lazarus. Go ahead.
Verse 22. And it came to pass that the beggar died and was carried by the angels into Abraham's bosom.
So Lazarus passed away. He died. He was carried by the angels into Abraham's bosom. Right? He was. Well, I explained it. Go ahead. Go ahead.
The rich man also died and was buried.
Right. So the poor Lazarus, the poor man, and the rich man, they died. Ultimately, the rich and the poor, we're gonna die. Right? It's inevitable. We're gonna die. You know what I mean? Lazarus, unfortunately, he went through what he went, and we'll see if it's fortunate or unfortunately when the rich man died. All right, but they both died, rich or poor, uh, black, white, red, brown. You're gonna die. All right, go ahead.
Verse 23.
Mm-hmm.
And in hell he lift up his eyes,
Mm-hmm.
being in torments,
All right.
and seeth Abraham afar off.
Mm-hmm. All right. So this is how we know who this particular person that is in hell, right? And in hell he lift up his eyes, being in torment, and seeth Abraham. So read 22 again.
And it came to pass
Yeah.
that the beggar died
Lazarus died.
and was carried by the angels into Abraham's bosom.
Right. He was Lazarus, the poor man, was carried into Abraham's bosom. It don't say nothing about the rich man being carried into Abraham's bosom. Go ahead.
The rich man also died
Mm-hmm.
and was buried.
Right. They both died. Go ahead.
Verse 23. And in hell he lift up his eyes.
He was in hell. What is that hell? Sawadia.
A condition.
Okay.
A condition of oppression.
Oppression. All right. You got one. Come on. You got it. A little more. Oppression of what? Like what kind of oppression?
Poverty.
Exactly. Poverty. So now the table has turned. There's always there's a side, there's another side to the coin. So it says, and in hell he lift up his eyes, right? Go ahead.
Being in torment.
Being in torment. Wasn't Lazarus in torment?
I don't con.
Lazarus was in torment. Lazarus was in hell. That's what the hell is. Lazarus was begging, full of sores, for a piece of crumb. That was Lazarus' condition. And he died and he went to Abraham's bosom. Now, they both died, right? And this rich man, now after he died, read the start off at 23 again.
And in hell he lift up his eyes.
In hell he lifted up his eyes. He looked up. He looked up to the society, very much like Lazarus did. Lazarus was at the bottom of the bottom. He was looking up at this gate, asking for a job. You know what I mean? He was at the border trying to get in for a better life. But now it's this man's turn, this other man, this rich man that died with Lazarus. Go ahead.
And seeth Abraham afar off.
All right. He saw Abraham. Go ahead.
And Lazarus in his bosom.
Right. Abraham, that being that covenant, that promise. Right? That covenant, that promise will be if we follow the laws, when we follow the law, statutes, and commandments, we get to inherit the kingdom of heaven, not the kingdom of hell. That was the promise to Abraham, which all nations was blessing. All the nations was blessing Abraham. But one particular one was going to inherit the kingdom of heaven. And that is the Hispanics, blacks, and Native Americans. Go ahead.
Verse 24. And he cried and said, Father Abraham, have mercy on me.
Whoa, don't that sound familiar? Don't that sound like looking for a job? Don't that sound like us voting for this king? Like, look at me, king. Like, I'm one of the good ones. Have mercy on me. Go ahead.
And send Lazarus
Hmm.
that he may dip the tip of his finger in water.
Right. Send Lazarus. Send that man. That same kingdom that Lazarus went to, right? And that same rich man that he was looking for aid from, looking for help for, looking for a piece of crumb, right? Now the table has turned. And he said, he told Abraham, right? He said, hey man, send Lazarus that he may dip his finger in water, right? But go ahead.
And cool my tongue.
Right. He just wanted a drip of water. He didn't want the water bottle. He didn't want the 32 ounces of water. He didn't want that. He just wanted a little dab from Lazarus' finger. Just like Lazarus wanted a crumb. Go ahead.
For I am tormented.
I am comfortable.
I am tormented.
I am rich.
I am tormented.
I'm full.
I am tormented.
He is tormented. Just like we are. Just like we was. Tormented. This is torment. This is hell that Hispanics, blacks, and Native Americans live through. You know what I'm saying? This is hell to get separated from your family. I can't be away from my family for longer than a week before I start feeling some kind of sadness or even depression. So we get separated completely, separated to the point where they send their fathers and mothers somewhere else and the children somewhere else. Now we don't know who is where. We get sent to programs. Programs, correctional facilities, shelters. You know what I mean? Like we're in torment, man. Like for I'm tormented in this. And go ahead.
What? Verse 25.
No, and cool my tongue, for I'm tormented in this flame, in this fire, in this thing that stings, that burns, that you know what I mean, that thing that drives you to. He's going through it, just like we are. They're not going through it right now. They don't. Our persons don't go through it. Like your call said the other day, if they're going through it, it's because they're bored. How can you have a leader? How can you have a king that is so pro-centric of his people that you, being his people, you are still in torment? You have sores? How ridiculous is that? You know what I mean? Right now, under Commander General Yohana, we don't have to go through that. He'll mess around and give you everything he got. So how is it that they leader is allowing this? Go ahead.
Verse 25. But Abraham said,
Mm-hmm.
Son,
Right.
remember that thou in thy lifetime receives thy good things.
Right. In his lifetime, in that rich man's lifetime, he had it made. He had it made. He had everything he needed. There was no need to even ask for things. He already had it. Abraham's telling him, look, young, looks, he said, look, you had it in your lifetime. Go ahead.
And likewise, Lazarus evil things.
Lazarus has evil things. So in that lifetime, that man had good things. Everything that was good, that man had. He had the White House. He had Alabama. He had Alaska. He had his army. He had HEBs, Walmarts. He had financial aid. He had the FDIC. He had gold. He had platinum. He had rubies. He had everything. He had everything. But Lazarus, he had evil things. He had poverty and poverty and poverty. That's what Lazarus had. Evil things. And if you know anything about poverty, poverty comes with a lot of other crap. Poverty comes with drug addiction. It comes with a lot of vices, a lot of sin, a lot of oppression. It comes with not knowing where your meal is coming from. You know, it comes from turning a dime, from trying to turn a dime from a nickel. It comes from living check to check. It comes from being arrested. It comes from being persecuted. That happens to us a lot. It comes from things like what's happening now. Like, I know it sounds revolutionary and all for us to be rioting and whatnot, but that is also an agenda. That is an agenda to show for anybody that follows this king, anybody that supports him. He's gonna say, like I said in the scripture, like it's gonna give him a reason to mess with us further. It's gonna give him a reason to implement more action, more militant action, more law enforcement, to change laws. Even though they don't change them, they just don't follow them again with us. But so go ahead.
But now he is comforted.
Right. Now he is comforted. Now in this time that this particular scripture is talking about the condition has changed. He's comforted, man. He's good. He's good to go. He went through it. Lazarus went through it. Like, I might not. I'm not speaking for everybody, but like, I still think like begging, like that is like, you have to be going through a lot to beg. You know what I'm saying? Like, men, like, we have a lot of there's ways to do things, but if you get to that point where you have to beg, that, like, begging is not asking for help. Begging is not like, hey man, you give me let me get some change, or can you help me with this? Begging is like, please, you know what I mean? It's like, I don't have a other choice. And that's what we do, Hispanics, Blacks, and Native Americans. We beg at the border, we beg in the ghettos, we beg in the reservations. We beg for something to change. You see, we're begging to let us in so we can try to make something out of this. In the ghettos, we're begging us to stop killing us, leave us alone. You know what I'm saying? Stop putting drugs in our communities. You know what I mean? In the reservations, we're begging for clean water. I'm saying, we're begging for our property back. We're begging, we're constantly begging. But it says, so like, I'll go ahead and finish that. For now he is comforted.
And thou art tormented.
And thou art tormented. Now you get to, now you experience what Lazarus experienced, or Hispanics, Blacks, and Native experience. And that is the difference between us and them. That though they have no compassion, they have no sympathy, empathy, they don't have it. It's not in their spirit. But it is in ours, though. know what I'm saying? Now, when we see somebody in need of help, we don't ask, so what tribe you from? You a Edomite? You a Moab? You this and that? Nah, if you need help, we got you. But with them, it's different. You know what I'm saying? Like Trump ain't asked no question about no South Africans. He ain't asked no question like, you a South African, but are you a black South African or a white South African? He ain't need to. He just said, you know what, these farmers, they're being discriminated and hated against and whatnot. And he went and saved them. He ain't asked about the Palestinians when they got their vouchers and their homes and their apartments and their jobs and their visas. He ain't asked about them. You know what I'm saying? He ain't asked about the only people that get interrogated and discriminated are Hispanics, blacks, and Native Americans.
That's right.
You know what I mean? And that is the hell that we live in. So go ahead, keep going. We got a couple more, and go ahead.
Verse 26.
Mm-hmm.
And beside all this,
Mm-hmm.
between us and you, there's a great gulf fixed.
Right. Between us, there's a huge distance. There's a gulf. There's a body of water between us and them and us. There are certain things, certain conditions, like certain differences that are between us, right? That, go ahead.
So they that which would pass from hence to you cannot,
Right. Go ahead.
neither can they pass to us that would come from thence.
Yeah. So we don't get the same things they do. They don't get the same things that we, it's like they don't get the same things that we do, and we don't get what they get. Because there's that gulf, that body of water, that distance of I'll give you an example. They can do certain things like go from New York Island to the was to trying to think of a nice way. The Rock of Gibraltar, right? They can do that. We can't do that. We can go from McDonald's to driving the bus. That's our golf right there, because we got to work. They can cross the ocean to go enjoy themselves. There's a huge gulf between us. There's things that they get that we don't get. There's things that we get that they don't get. And one that I love so much is the kingdom of heaven. We can get that forever, though. Like that is, y'all know what forever means. Everlasting, eternal. We get that. They in heaven now. They in their heaven. Good for them. But that's not going to last. And that's starting right now. It's starting right now with how they're acting, how they're conducting themselves, their foolish decisions that they're making right now with their king. They are like slowly but surely, they're starting to crumble. And it's lovely. Because then as they fall, we rise. So Most High in Christ for that. Go ahead.
Verse 27.
Mm-hmm.
Then he said,
Mm-hmm.
I pray thee, therefore,
Right.
Father, that thou wouldest send him to my father's house.
Mm-hmm. You stepped away from the mic. Start that again.
Verse 27. Then he said, I pray thee, therefore,
Mm-hmm.
Father, that thou wouldest send him to my father's house.
All right, go ahead.
Verse 28. For I have 5 brethren,
Mm-hmm.
that he may testify unto them,
Mm-hmm.
lest they also come into this place of torment.
He trying to save his his people, so that they don't go through what he's going through. It's like we do in the UPK, bro. The objective of this is the same objective that Christ had. Christ's whole revolution, because we're in that spirit right now of revolution, and we should always be in that spirit, is that of brotherhood. That was his whole ordeal. It was about saving his brothers and sisters, getting it right, so we don't got to go through this longer than it's planned. Like, it's been a long time, man. So go ahead.
Verse 29.
Mm-hmm.
Abraham saith unto him,
Mm-hmm.
they have Moses and the prophets. Let them hear them.
Right. They got Moses and the prophets. They got Moses, the one that wrote the law, that wrote the laws, the law, statutes, and commandments. They got the prophets that go and teach these things, that preach them. They have those already. So like, why would what do he say? What do he ask for? Hold on. Great, go fix. All right. He said, then I said, I prayed to thee, Father, that thou wouldst send him to my father's house. He's talking about in verse 27. He wants Lazarus to go visit his people so that they can see these great things that the Lord is capable of. Right? And Abraham responded, like, wow, they got Moses, like they got the prophets. We have the Bible. We have the law, statutes, and commandments. We have that. Go ahead.
Verse 30.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, nay, Father Abraham,
Mm-hmm.
but if one went unto them from the dead, they will repent.
He's pleading, man. He's like, if you send him, they're gonna see that this is real, that they can be saved, that they will repent, they will stop doing what they're doing to deserve this kind of hell and oppression. And it works the same way with us. Like when we stop as a unit, as a family, all together, as we stop violating these laws, statutes, and commandments, Christ will deliver us. The Most High will set us free. We won't be under this oppression. We won't be under this condition where we have to go and beg at a gate. I keep bringing that up because the action of begging and you know what I mean, like especially us Hispanics, Blacks, Native Americans, we are strong people, man. Like by now, at this point, that stuff is in our DNA, it's in our character, it's in our spirit to fight forward, to keep it moving. You know what I mean? We are a strong people. So for us to be begging to a different nation, that's crazy. That's why you cannot worship two God. You cannot worship the two masters, because you can't pick one or the other. You know what I mean? I'm saying, like, we would rather worship. It is better for us to worship the Most High. It is better for us to do that because the results of that would mean that when we pass away, just like that Lazarus and that Richmond did, when we make it to Abraham's bosom, when we make it to the kingdom, like that's gonna be ongoing, and that will never, ever, ever stop. But the Richmond, he had his kingdom while it lasted, in his lifetime and the one before, and that was it. He had the kingdom, he had it all, but that is only gonna last for a certain amount of time till we get it right. So there's no specific day and time and an hour and minute and second when Christ is going to return to deliver. But when he does, it's going to be glorious. Go ahead.
Verse 31.
Mm-hmm.
And he said unto him,
Mm-hmm.
if they hear not Moses and the prophets,
Right. He said, if they don't hear Moses and the prophets, they don't hear what it was written in the law, statutes, and commandments. If they don't hear the prophets, which are amongst them, you know what I'm saying? If you don't take heed of the things that these people are saying, that, you know what I mean? Like, first of all, he wants Lazarus to go visit them. But if you don't hear them, what?
neither will they be persuaded, though one rose from the dead.
Yeah. So, like, if you're not listening to everything that is here now, everything that is present, everything that is alive to you, like everything that is being presented right in your face, how you gonna listen to something that has risen from the dead? You know what I'm saying? God is the God of the living. That's how you ought to. That's what you ought to partake in, the living. The dead. There's some lessons in history starting about the dead, but while we're living, though, you know what I mean. The law, statutes, and commandments are living. Well, that's why something I don't like about these particular the Christianity and Muslim and all these other organizations is that they're very manipulative in that point where they would orchestrate a whole sermon and start slapping people with jackets and sprinkling water on their forehead and whatnot, and they're like, "Oh, look, they're cured and this is a miracle." Like, come on now, like, who are you? You fooling the foolish. That's crazy. Anyway, so get Zephaniah 2:1. But in the meantime, though, like I was saying, with as far as these raids go, as far as these riots continue, it is better. It is a great thing that we are coming together. But like, don't, there's an old saying, like, you may lose the battle, but don't lose the lesson. Because I mean, we keep going this way, right? And as far as like rioting and demonstrating and all that, that does not work for us. That only works for them. They can do that. That's why earlier I brought out those demonstrations and riots that those that Trump supporters did when he got elected. When he got elected or impeached, something like that. But they went out in the streets and did the same thing. They took over Capitol Hill. They were, you know what I mean? They went in their guns blazing. Some people died. People got injured. But they can do that. When we do that, I promise you that it's gonna bite us in the butt. It's gonna make it worse for our people. The best bet, right? And it's not even a bet, it's a promise. The best thing to do is to get back into this law, statutes, and commandments. Get right, so the Most High sees. Like, you know what I'm saying, look at my people. They getting right, and then when the order comes down, you're gonna be glad that you followed it. Because if you're in that spirit of going out and doing what is happening now, you're gonna get your chance righteously, and you're not gonna go to jail. You're not gonna get deported. You're not gonna get shot. You're not gonna get your family separated. Everything's gonna be great. Everything's gonna be all good because you did it properly. But now, just loving the unity, though. That, like, put that same energy into following the law, statutes, and commandments, because ultimately that is what is gonna save us. You know what I mean? Ain't no burning of cars. Ain't no flipping cars over. Ain't no throwing rocks or committing violent acts against the oppressors. That's not gonna help. It never has. It never has. I'm saying one of the greatest or one of the best revolutionaries that I read of was Nat Turner, and you saw how his situation ended. Yeah, he led a revolt and it was successful, but he got barbecued. Okay, like that has never been the answer for us, and it will never be the answer for us. The only one that can deliver us and liberate us is Christ. He's the only one. Like that is he's been assigned with that. In the meantime, though, we got to get right first. Because in the kingdom, nobody wants, the Most High does not want somebody that is iffy and leaning to the left or the right. He wants somebody to straightforward. So we got to get that right first before we can inherit this kingdom. All right. And with that, nah, not with that. We got more time. Give me let me see. We got a little bit more time. Acts 2 and 44. Nah. Get Acts 2 and 44.
This is the book of Acts, chapter 2, verse 44.
Mm-hmm.
And all that believed were together.
Oh, Salaki, hold on. I said my bad. I'm at 39, Salaki.
This is the book of Acts, chapter 2, verse 39.
Mm-hmm.
For the promise is unto you
Mm-hmm.
and to your children.
Right. So to your children. Isupk is for the children. Isupk is for Hispanics, Blacks, and Native Americans. That promise is unto you, Hispanics, Blacks, and Native Americans. That promise, that covenant, that inheriting the kingdom of heaven is for the children. Go ahead.
And to all that are far off,
Mm-hmm.
even as many as the Lord our God shall call.
Right. There's a lot being called. And now you can read 44.
Verse 44.
Mm-hmm.
And all that believed
Mm-hmm.
were together
Right.
and had all things common.
Right. We all that believe we're together and all things in common. We in the UPK, we got all things in common. Everything from the things we eat to our mannerisms to what we worship to how we walk, how we march, everything we do we have in common, right? That's why we say that we're not affiliated with these other people because they do not they do what they like, and if that doesn't appear to them, they don't. We walk in unison here because two can't walk together. You know what I mean? Two can't walk. What's that scripture? Give me that scripture real quick.
And I don't come.
If we don't agree with things, then we cannot walk together. If me and you, if we don't agree that eating law, if we don't agree on the law, the dietary law of not eating pork, shrimp, or lobster, if we don't agree on the white man is the devil, if we don't agree on I'm missing a whole bunch. If we don't agree on the law, statutes, and commandments, there you go. If we don't agree on loving your brother, Hispanics, Blacks, and Native Americans, if we don't agree on those things, me and you we cannot we cannot triumph together. We have to be in the same accord. Go ahead.
So like y'all don't want you want me to start a verse above?
Go ahead.
I don't come. This is the book of Amos, chapter 3, verse 2.
Mm-hmm.
You only have I known of all the families of the earth.
Right. Of all the families, there's a lot of nations, there's a lot of races on this planet. There's a lot of us. There's a lot of humans here. Those are those families. And of all the families of the earth, of all those people, right? he has only known one particular one. You only, that's what it said. Only. That's you, like it's singular. Go ahead.
Therefore, I will punish you
Mm-hmm.
for all your iniquities.
Right. Oppressors can do, they are permitted to do whatever they want for now. That is how the Most High has it right now. To the point that they are allowed, they are permitted to do those things. You know, they are permitted to go raid houses and neighborhoods and businesses. They are permitted to kidnap Hispanics, Blacks, and Native Americans. They are permitted to do those things for now, right? Therefore, go ahead. No, Salaga. Therefore, I will punish you for all your iniquities. For that reason, I mean, that's a punishment of us because we don't follow the law, statutes, and commandments as a unit, as a family. But if we were to, right, that brings us to the next verse. Go ahead.
Verse 3.
Mhm.
Can two walk together except they be agreed?
All right. Can two walk together? Can me and you be on the same vibe? Can me and you be in the Holy Spirit? Can me and you be in this law, statutes, and commandments? Unless we agree, unless we are, all right, I feel you. You feel me? Yeah, I feel you. All right, bet. You know what I mean? That's how we operate here. Anywhere else, like I said earlier, it's up to interpretation, your perception, and this and that, and how you feel, and how your heart feels, and things silly, childish, magical things like that. The Bible is very firm. You know what I'm saying? That's Christ was an austere man. So you be like that too. All right. And with that, I'm gonna hand over the class to Troopers Sawadia for the security announcements.
We are the Isupk, 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment, Numbers 18 and 21, Malachi 3 and 8 through 10, means 10th in the Hebrew, Ma'ashara. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Give to treasury department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocation. Memorial of blowing of trumpets. First day of the 7th month, Sunday 21st September 2025. Leviticus 23 and 24 through 25. If anyone wants to be a trooper in a school, start wearing all black, boot, shirt, pant, headband, and scarf. And these are the IPK security announcements.
All right, with that, we're gonna stand. Sorry. Then we're gonna start. Face the east for the Lord's Prayer in the Dashwan Kudash. Habanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kudash, Haya, Shemka, Yahweh, Malafka, Taba'a, Ratazaka, Haya, Aisha, Ba'arataza, Kawa, Haya, Bashamayim, Natalanawa, Lakam, Ka, Yawam, Wasalakinawa, Kabawathinawa, Kasalakinawa, Kabawathinawa, Wala, Tabayana, Tabayanawa, Banasai 1, Abba, Hawashayanawa, Mayan, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwa, Kawala, Wahata Parad, Lai Walamyam, Aman. And when we said in the English, Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it. I'm going to start. I'm going to give the brothers a courteous salute, men of Israel. Imagine Shabbat. Imagine. Barak. Yahweh Hashem Yahushua Barakatah. Jaji Matah. I'm sorry and give a courteous salute to the sisters. Men of Israel, Imagine Shabbat. Imagine. Barak. Yahweh Shema Atah Bashem Yahushua Jaji Matah. Class dismissed.